Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. Today's video is going to be another Halloween video, and last time I showed you how to make these bottles, so if you haven't already you can go back to my last video and check those out. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this one, which is slightly different technique. We're still using peyote stitch, but it's a little bit different. So what you'll need to make one of these is some size 11 Delica seed beads, Miyuki Delica beads. If you don't know what they are, they're a bit different to normal round seed beads because they're cut flat like a tube shape, so they all stack perfectly next to each other. So you'll need some Delica beads. You'll need one colour for your bottle, so I'm going to do this Halloweeny orange, and then you'll need a colour for your label and also a black for your label. So I'm going to do this pale yellow and then the black for the writing on the label, and then a colour for your little cork. So I'm using this. So then you'll need your thread, which I'm using £6 fireline, and you'll also need a jump ring if you want to make it into a charm like this, and then a beaded needle. So that's everything, let's get started. Okay, so first thread your needle and then pick up 3 of your orange beads and slide those down onto your thread, leaving a few inches on your tail that you can sew in later. Now you're going to sew up through the first bead, just through the first one. Now we're going to put 1 bead in between each of those 3 beads in total, so picking up 1 and going straight into the next bead, picking up the next one, coming out of this one and going straight into the one after, and the last one of the row, picking up 1, I'm going to go straight into the next one and then also step up into the bead above, like that. So you've stepped up ready to start adding beads in the next row. Okay, so you should have this. This time we're going to pick up 2 beads each time and put them in between these 3 corner beads. So picking up 2, coming out of here, skip over 1 and go into the next one on the corner. Picking up 2, skip over 1 and go through the next one on the corner. And do that one more time, so picking up 2, coming out of here we're going to skip over 1 and go through that next one on the corner. And because it's the last one in the row, we need to step up into the row above so that we can add more beads. So you're coming out of here, you're going to step up through that one that's right above the one that you're coming out of. So now you should be coming out right in the centre of one of these 3 groups of 2 that we added in the row below. This time we're going to increase, so we're going to add 6 single beads, putting 1 right in the centre of those 3 groups of 2. And also 1 each in between, in the spaces in between those as well. So 6 in total. So picking up your first one, you're going to go straight down through that bead next to you. Picking up another one. This time you're coming out here, you're going to skip over 1 and go through the next one. Picking up another one, this time you're between one of those groups of 2, so you're coming out of this one, you're going to go straight down through the next one. Picking up another one, now we're coming out here, so we're going to skip over the one underneath and go through the next one. Now we're between a group of 2 again, so pick up 1, and coming out here you're going to go straight down through the next one. Picking up the last one of the row, so we're coming out here, we're going to skip over 1, go through the next one, and also step up into the one above as well. So through the next one and up into the one above. Okay, so for this row we're going to be putting groups of 2 again, so picking up 2 each time and putting them in between these 6 beads that are on the top row, these 6 beads that stick up further than the rest, if you can see that. So you're going to pick up 6 groups of 2 in total. So picking up your first group of 2, you're coming out here, you're going to skip over 1, go through that next single bead on the top row. Picking up 2, skipping over 1 and going through that next single bead on the top row. And picking up 2, skip over 1, go through the next single bead on the top row. You're going to do that all the way around, so do that 3 more times, pick up 3 more groups of 2 and add them in the same way. And then when you add in the last group of 2, do the same thing again, so skip over 1, go through the next one, but then because it's the end of the row and there's nowhere else to go, you need to step up into the row above. This time you're going to go through, step up through the next 2 beads, so it's the first group of 2 that we added in this row. So you go through the last bead of the row and then step up through the next 2. So we have this. So this time we're going to increase again from 6 beads to 12. So we're going to be picking up 12 single beads and you're going to be putting 6 of them in these 6 gaps that you can see here between the groups of 2, and then the other 6 are going to be going right down the centre, splitting those groups of 2 in half. So 12 in total, picking up your first one, skipping over 1 and going through the next bead just through 1 of those 2. Picking up your next one, so this time you're between one of those groups of 2, so you're just going to go straight down through that next bead, like that. So again, picking up 1, this time skipping over 1 and going through the next one. Now picking up 1 and going straight down through that next bead. So you alternate that all the way around until you've added 12 beads. So picking up 1, skipping over 1 and going through the next one. Now you're between a group of 2, so pick up 1 and go straight down through the following bead. Picking up 1, skipping over 1 and going through the next one. And again you're between a group of 2, so this time pick up 1 and go straight down through the next one. Okay, and keep going all the way around, so picking up 1, skip over 1 through the next one. Picking up 1 and straight down through the next one. Okay, we've just got 2 more left to add, so going through the next one, and then for this last one we're coming out of the middle of one of those groups of 2, so I've picked up 1, I'm going to go straight down through the next bead, and then because it's the end of the row I need to step up as well into that next single bead above. So now we have this and we are working with 12 beads each time from now on. Okay, so we're just going to be doing like regular peyote stitch now, so that means I'm going to pick up a bead, skip over 1, go through the next one, pick up a bead, skip over 1, go through the next one. So basically we're filling in these gaps that you can see between these beads on the top row. You're picking up 12 beads in a row. So if you want to set 12 beads aside, I'd like that, and just pick up from that pile, then you know once you've added all of those that you're at the end of the row and you need to step up. So remember each time at the end of the row to step up into the next row above so that you can carry on adding beads. So I'm going to show you for the first row and then I'll tell you how many rows to do after that. So you're picking up 1, you're coming out of this bead, you're going to skip that one underneath, there's this gap here that you're going to fill, and you're going to go through that next single bead on the top row. Picking up 1, skipping over 1 and going through the next single bead on the top row. Again picking up 1, coming out of this one, skipping the one underneath and going through the next single one on the top row. Picking up 1, skipping over 1, going through the next one. So you need to do that all the way around, so you need to now add 8 more beads, so you've got 12 in total. Okay, and I just wanted to remind you at the end of the row to add the last bead in the same way, and then always, always, always step up into the row above. If you forget to step up, that's where you can start to get confused. So like I said at the start of the row, if you set aside 12 beads at the start of each row, then once you've picked all of those up, you know that you're at the end of the row and you need to step up. So we have this. Pull it tight now after each row, make sure you pull it tight because it's going to start to build up the sides now. So now what you need to do is 4 more rows doing exactly the same thing. Using just orange beads, 4 more rows of adding 12 single beads in between these top outermost 12 beads here. So pick up one, skip over one, go through the next one, and so on until you've added 12 beads, and then step up at the end of each row. So do 4 more rows and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so I've added those 4 extra rows, so this is what it looks like now. So it should have started to build up the side a little bit, like this. So now we're going to carry on doing exactly the same technique, so adding 12 beads each time in the same way and stepping up at the end of each row, but we're going to start creating the label, so I'm going to show you how to do that. So begin by picking up one of your label colour and going through the next one on the top row, and then another one of your label colour and through the next one on the top row, and then add 2 more, one at a time, of your label colour like this. So you've got this. Now you need to add 8 more of your orange beads or your bottle colour to finish off the row, and then step up into this first bead we added, so we're ready to start the next row. So go ahead and do that and then I'll show you the next row. So I finished that row, and like I said, I've stepped up into this first creamy coloured bead, and now I'm going to show you what to do for the next row. So for this row you're going to start off with 3 of your label colour, picking up 1 of them at a time. Okay, so you have that. So now you need to finish the row by adding 9 single orange beads or whatever colour your bottle is, and then stepping up into this first label colour that we added, so we're ready to start the next row, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I've done that and I've stepped up ready to start this row. So this row is going to be 3 of your label colour, followed by 8 of your orange, and finishing with 1 more of your label colour, and then stepping up. So starting with the 3 of your label colour. So it's like this. Now you need to add 8 of your orange, and then we'll add the 1 final label colour bead. So add 8 of your orange and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so then the final one is going to be 1 more of your label colour, so add that in the same way and also step up into the bead above. So now we have this. You're starting from here, so this row you're going to add 2 black, followed by 9 of your orange, and then finishing here with 1 black as well. So starting with 2 black. Now you're going to do 9 of your orange, and then ending with 1 more black to end the row, and then step up into the black bead to start the next row. So right now we have this. Okay, so for this next row you're going to start with 1 black and then 1 of your label colour. Now you're going to add 8 of your bottle colour. Going to add 1 of our label colour, followed by 1 of our label colour again. And don't forget to step up into this black bead to start the next row. Okay, so for this row you're going to start with 1 black bead. Now you're going to add 9 of your bottle colour. Okay, and then we're going to add a black and 1 of your label colour. And then, as always, step up into the row above. So it should be like this. So you're going to start the next row with 1 of your label colour, followed by 8 of your bottle colour, and then you're going to finish the row with 3 of your label colour. don't forget to step up, so you should be coming out of this last one of your label colour here. So for this row you're going to start with 9 of your bottle colour, and you're going to finish the row with 3 of your label colour. Stepping up again at the end of the row into the next bead. So now we have this, and that's the label finished. So now you're back to carrying on in the same way, picking up one, skipping over one, going through the next one, adding 12 beads in each row, but from now on you're just using the orange beads or just your bottle colour. So now you need to add 5 more rows of just single orange beads. So 5 more rows, and then I'll show you what to do next. So once you've added those 5 rows, then it should look something like this. So now what we're going to do is decrease back down to 6 beads in a row from 12. So to do that, you're going to pick up one, and you're going to go through the next 2 on the top row. Instead of the next 1, you're going to go through the next 2 like that. So you're coming out of this one, you're skipping over one, going through the next one, skipping over one, and into the next one as well. And again, picking up one, and then going through the next 2 in the top row. And again, picking up one, and going through the next 2 in the top row. And you need to do that 3 more times. So this is the 3rd one for me, so the last one, and I'm going to step up, as always, into the bead above when I get to the end of the row. So you should be coming out of one of the beads on the very top row, and you're going to pull it nice and tight now. And it should start to close up just slightly like this. Okay, so now we're going to be working with those, it's hard to see now, but those last 6 beads that we added in the row below. So you're going to put 1 bead in between each of those, so 6 beads in total. So picking up one, and I'm coming out of this one, so I'm going to, let's see if I can turn it this way. So we're coming out of this one, I'm going to skip these 2 here that are joined by that thread and go through the next one on the very top row. Same again, pick up one, skip the 2 underneath, and go through the next single bead on the top row. And again, picking up one, skipping 2, and going through the next one on the top row. So you need to do that 3 more times. So picking up one, skipping over 2, going through the next one on the top row. So I've done that, and that was the last one in the row. So once you go through that last one, remember to step up into the one above as well. Pull that nice and tight, and now it should close in like this. It's kind of hard to show you. Okay, now we're back to sort of regular peyote stitch, so we're adding 6 beads each time now. Picking up one, coming out of here, skipping one, and going through the next one. Picking up one, skipping over one, going through the next one. Picking up one, skipping over one, going through the next one. So do that 3 more times. And when you go through the last one, don't forget to step up afterwards into the bead above. Okay, pull it nice and tight. Okay, do another row the same, picking up one, skipping over one, go through the next one. Picking up one, skipping over one, go through the next one. And do that all the way around until you've added 6 beads. And don't forget when you get to the last one to also step up into the bead above as well. So now you have this. So now you need to do 3 more rows exactly the same, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Now we just need to add the cork. So we're going to do 3 more rows, exactly the same, but you're going to swap to the colour you're using for your cork. So go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you how to finish it off. So this is what it should look like once you've added those 3 rows of your cork colour. Now we're going to decrease down to 3. So picking up your first one and going through the next 2 on the top row, like that. And picking up your second one and doing the same thing, so going through the next 2 on the top row. And last one, same thing again, picking up one and going through the next 2 on the top row, but then also stepping up into the one above. Pull that nice and tight, and then picking up one, and we're going to be going through these last 3 that we just added, so picking up one and going into the next one in that triangle, and picking up one, going into that next one in that top group of 3, and last one, going through that last one in that group of 3, and then up into the first one we added. So now you should have this, and it's closed up, and you should have a centre triangle of beads. So you want to find those last 3 that you just added and circle through those to bring all 3 of those together. Make sure they're all connected at the top, like that. So now that's the bottle finished essentially, and all you need to do is add a little jump ring. So you want to take your jump ring, and we want it to be connected to all 3 of these on the top. So we're coming out of this one, we've picked up our jump ring, and we're going to go back into that bead that we're coming out of, but on the other side, like that. Now we're going to move around to the next bead in the triangle, and we're going to go into the jump ring. Oops. And back into that bead that we're coming out of, but on the opposite side. So now it's connected to 2 of them. Now you need to move through that final bead in that top triangle and do the same again. So go through the jump ring and then back into that bead that you're coming out of, but on the opposite side. Pull that nice and tight, and now your jump ring should be connected to all of those beads on the top, and it'll be nice and secure. So then all you need to do is go ahead and tie off your threads, tie some knots and cut them off, and then we're finished. So once you've tied off all your threads and everything, then that's the finished bottle. So this is what it looks like with the pink one. So sparkly. So plain on the back, it's hollow in the middle, and they should, and the ones you did last time, should all be pretty flat on the bottom so that they can stand up like a real bottle. And I don't know if I'll have time to get around to filming this one this Halloween, but I might film it a bit later in the year or the beginning of next year. So that's the finished bottle. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, and you're able to make one of these cute little beaded bottles. Let me know if you do, and follow me on Instagram at Beadingbyhannah, and you can share pictures with me there if you do make one. I'd love to see it. And comment down below here what else you'd like to see, and like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed to see more of my videos. Thanks so much for watching everyone. See you next time. Bye.